Hey y'all, welcome to this week's What's for Dinner video, or welcome if you are new. My name is Bethany, or Budget Bethany, and this week I'm going to be sharing 3 super easy weeknight dinner ideas with y'all. So first we're going to be grilling some ribs, and I was sharing the seasonings that I used on mine in the barbecue sauce. So all I did was season them up, throw them on the grill, grilled them without any aluminum foil for about an hour. Once I got to that hour, I took them off the grill, brought them in the house, wrapped them up in aluminum foil, throw them back on the grill for another hour. Once I got my ribs back on the grill, I decided to come inside and I was going to make potato salad to go with them. So right here I've washed up some potatoes and diced them up and everything. They're ready to go. Throw them in the pot, added in 2 eggs, and I'm going to get that to boiling. And once it's done boiling, I'm going to remove the egg from the potatoes, and then I'm going to drain the water off of the potatoes. Then it's time to add in the other ingredients into your potato salad, and I like to add mayonnaise, some dill relish, some mustard, and of course my 2 boiled eggs. So right here I was all out of dill relish, so I just cut up some Vlasic kosher dill spears. That's kind of a tongue tie, but anyway, I cut those up into little chunks. I'm going to throw those in there since I didn't have any relish. I'm going to throw in my mayonnaise and my mustard, and I don't really care about name brands, so I'm just using some Kraft mayonnaise and some Great Value mustard. I do like to mash my potatoes up, but you do not have to. You can leave them whole. As you can see, I've got all the ingredients in the bowl, and then I just mix that all together and I sprinkle on some paprika on top. And then also to go with our potato salad and our grilled ribs, I opened up a can of baked beans, and I'm just using the Bush's brown sugar hickory flavored baked beans. And I also cut up in about 2 hot dogs, but you don't have to do that if you don't want, but that's just how we prefer our baked beans. Then I just kind of mix those in there and kind of let that simmer on low for about 10-15 minutes. Once my hour was up, I removed my ribs from the grill, brought those in the house. I wanted to open it up and show y'all how they were looking. These things were fall off the bone tender. And then here was our plate once it was all plated up, and I did rub some of that John Boy and Billy's barbecue sauce on there after I brought it off the grill, but of course you can use whatever kind of barbecue sauce that you prefer. That's just what I had on hand. And then in just a minute I'm going to pick up a piece of this rib just to show y'all how tender it really is. For the next night, me and my husband wanted some chicken and steak burritos. He had steak, I had chicken. I'm going to be sharing the chicken one with y'all just because he was doing the steak and I didn't really catch much of that on film. But right here, as I'm showing y'all all the ingredients that you'll need to make this dinner, it's got a lot of ingredients, but I promise you it's well worth it. So right here to start with, I just cut up some bell peppers, and we have the orange, we have the green, we have the red, and a little bit of onion in there. Then we're going to sprinkle in some of this hardcore carnivore Tex-Mex seasoning. I'll link it down in my description box if you're interested. And then after I added that Tex-Mex seasoning, I also went in with a can of these crushed pineapples. I promise you, y'all, don't knock it till you try it. It was so good. And so right here you'll see him cutting up the chicken. Once he got the chicken all cut up and added into the pot, he did add a few more ingredients, and I'm going to let him tell y'all.
I put half taco, half fajita seasoning, and then we added our own Tex-Mex.
So just to clarify, he did say that he added in a half of a taco packet like you get at Walmart that you would season normal tacos with, and he also added in about a tablespoon of that Tex-Mex seasoning that I shared with y'all a while ago that I said I would link down below. So once he got the chicken cooked, he then added in the peppers, and then this is how it looked once it was all done. Right here I'm getting ready to make some Spanish rice. So to start with, I just had some rice frying up in a pan. This is the same pan that I cooked the chicken in. Just going to let that roast up really good and get it good and brown colored. Then once once it does get to the consistency that I want it to be, I'm going to add in some water that I mixed with some Goya Sazon, I guess that's how you say it, and some Knorr, like chicken flavored little cubes. Just melted the Goya and the chicken bouillon cubes down into that water, and then I just poured that over on my rice. I'm going to let that come to a boil. Once it comes to a boil, I'm going to reduce the heat and I pop the lid on there. I actually added a few more ingredients, but I couldn't share all those because this is the recipe that I learned at the restaurant that I'm cooking at, so I cannot give out the recipes. So I shared the basic main ingredients that you'll need to make this, but of course you can play around with it, and I'm sure you can figure out the other ingredients that go in that Spanish rice. So once my Spanish rice was done, the burner was still warm, so I just took my tortillas and laid those on the stove and let those heat up really well. Once they bubbled up, you know it's time to take them off, and then here is everything set up ready to make our plates. I also made me a margarita because you cannot have Mexican food without a margarita. So here's my burrito all rolled up, and then there is some of my Spanish rice. I highly recommend y'all giving this a try, and I'll have everything typed out in my description box just so that you can easily go check it out. Alright y'all, so for the third and final dinner that I'm going to be sharing with y'all this week, it's Poppyseed chicken casserole. So all you'll need is a rotisserie chicken, a stick of butter, an 8-ounce thing of sour cream, 1 can of cream of chicken, some poppy seeds, some shredded Parmesan cheese, and some Ritz crackers, or if you're like me and you like to shop at Walmart for the Great Value brand, you get you some butter rounds. So right here I've got my rotisserie chicken that I got from the Walmart deli, and I'm just going to pull the legs off of it. I'm going to shred all the skin off of the chicken legs. I do the thighs, and I do one breast. That's the meat that I chose to use, but of course you can use just breast, or you could just use dark meat. It doesn't really matter. It's going to taste the same basically anyway, but that's what I'm doing, just shredding all the skin off of my chicken legs, my thighs, and one breast. So because I did shred it up in the little top that goes on my rotisserie chicken, I wanted to put the lid back on the rotisserie chicken because I didn't use it all. My kids eat it the next afternoon for after school snack. I know, kind of weird, but anyway, it was eat up. It wasn't wasted. So in my bowl, I just got my shredded chicken, and I'm adding in the whole thing of the 8-ounce thing of sour cream. Then I'm going to add in my can of cream of chicken. Then I'm going to go in with a little bit of the poppy seeds as well as some of the Parmesan cheese and mix that all up together really well.
You look at me like I'm crazy when I shut my feelings out. You look at me like I'm different, still you stay cause you feel something real. Get so lost in my moments, doesn't mean I don't need you. I fell in love with your colors, they kinda tell me what I'm thinking. Fell in love with the way we are and the way we lose it. There's something different about us, and the reason why we stay. We fly around like paper planes, they never know where we will fall. Nobody can see us, still they wanna tear us apart. There's something different about the way we are.
By the way, you don't want to use all of the Parmesan cheese into the chicken mixture because you're going to sprinkle some on top as well. So once I got everything mixed up and incorporated well, I just dumped it into my baking dish. I'm going to spread it out evenly into the bottom of my baking dish, and then I'm going to top with some more of that Parmesan cheese. I should have went ahead and used it all, but I did reserve some thinking that I may need it for something else, but it was just a little bit, so I wound up sprinkling it on top at the very end after I add my crackers on there and everything. But of course, just go ahead and add it all to right here in this step before you add your crackers. So like I said, once I got through adding all the Parmesan cheese on top, I crunched up some of the crackers, the butter round crackers. Of course, I about said Ritz, but butter round crackers, and then I just sprinkled those over on top. And I did do 2 packs, but I believe 1 pack would be enough. But I do like a lot of crunch on mine, so I did add 2 packs to mine. Once I got all of the butter rounds added to the top of the chicken mixture, I'm then going to cut up some butter, and I had let my butter sit out way too long and it was melted way down, so it was really hard to cut. But you want to cut it into cubes and kind of lay it neatly on top of the crackers. That way it just melts down onto the crackers and it makes them extra buttery. And then here I am going in with the rest of that shredded Parmesan cheese. I don't know why I did not add it before I added the crackers. I don't know what I was thinking, but anyway, next time whenever I make this recipe, I will definitely make sure I add all of the shredded cheese before I add the crackers. So then I just popped in the oven on 350 for about 20-25 minutes. You're basically just wanting to heat everything up because there's nothing that really has to be cooked in this casserole, which is perfect for me because I sometimes just not want to stand there and cook. So to go with our Poppyseed chicken casserole, I opened up a can of green beans. I throw in some butter and a little bit of this Italian seasoning. I just love adding this into my green beans. If you've never tried it, I highly recommend you giving it a try. I also opened up some of the Pillsbury Grands biscuits and popped those in the oven, you know, by the directions on the back of the package. And dinner was served, y'all. This thing was so delicious. I highly recommend y'all giving it a try. But y'all, that's all I got for y'all for this week's What's for Dinner. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, as always, please don't forget to leave me a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not already, because I would really love for you to join my YouTube family. Thank you all so much for being here today, and I will catch you all in the next one. Bye, y'all.